That video was inappropriate. Inappropriate. I think I'm going to have to flag this now. Well, they're going to feel pretty stupid when they find out. Find out what? They're screwing with the wrong channel. Strike removed! So to kick off this week's Q&As, I thought I'd go ahead and touch up on that. Yes, after a week, YouTube reviewed the false flags I got from last week on that video that was inappropriate, and they went ahead and fixed it, restored the video, and removed the strike from the channel. So the channel is now clean once again. So I want to basically thank two parties for that. Of course, want to thank YouTube for actually reviewing. It must be a tremendous task to try and, ensure that all the videos on YouTube are, in terms of like copyright and community, that they're suitable for YouTube. I mean, there's tons of stuff on there. People uploading trailer, even if you're just talking Walking Dead. Channels uploading trailers they don't own, and all this stuff, and I don't care about that. I mean, I'll watch them for the reviews and stuff, but yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on YouTube, and there's so many videos and people uploading so much at once. It must be difficult for them to kind of police everything and make sure everything is proper in terms of the engine and suitable for the engine. So want to thank them for doing the right thing, which is actually reviewing it, with an actual human being rather than a machine and bot, and actually realizing there's nothing wrong with the video, restoring it. And then second of all, I want to thank you guys, man, because really, if a channel is really small and that situation happens, and they review the channel and they see almost no thumbs up, they see no shares, they see no favorites, there's the chances are a lot higher that they're going to say, hey, this video is against community. It's either misleading or it's I don't know, something like that, inappropriate in some kind of way. So really comes down to those two. YouTube doing what they do best. Love YouTube. I really appreciate what YouTube has created here for us. It's an awesome engine. Of course, Google, best search engine in the world. YouTube, best video search engine in the world. And them doing their thing. So I really appreciate that from them. And then, of course, you guys. So thank you guys so much for doing that and just continuing to do that. If you wouldn't mind every video, it really, like, if you want to look at a channel's health, it really promotes the health of the channel to have people engaging in it, watching the videos, and then thumbing them up and sharing or favoriting them. It just protects it so that if they review it, if it comes down to that situation, it will, they see 500 and whatever thumbs up and they see 13 thumbs down. Well, obviously some people like the content. It makes their decision pretty easy. So thank you guys so much for your support, the kind comments and everything in getting through that. It won't be the last time it happens. It'll happen again, but next time I'm not going to mention it. This time I was just a little bit upset because it was actually a subscriber that did that. So, or maybe a few. So pretty uncool. But anyway, enough about that. And with the channel updates with that, the channel's good. Nothing to worry about now. Going to continue going on strong, making as many videos as I can possibly do for you guys. And without further ado, let's get into some of the Q&A questions. Thank you for all the questions this week. By the way, I have noted 50, roughly 50 down, and if I don't get to everybody's, sorry guys, do as many as I can do. Probably do 3 parts, maybe even a 4th part for this one this week, just because of the amount we have leading up to the Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 7, Crossed. So the first question comes from Joseph Conway, and Joseph Conway says, Q&A, Trev, how long do you think you'd honestly survive in a zombie apocalypse? And then he spaces down and he puts, like, really? Like is it like really? How long do you think you survive? As if to say, like, he has no faith I'd survive like a day or a week. And, I always wonder how people view me from this side. Well, I'll just give you some information about myself in terms of me. Okay, so I'm pretty smart. I've researched this a lot, okay? With the new trick from the Walking Dead comic book series, the Leatherface trick, I call it, or the Whisperers trick, which is a kind of spoiler here, not really spoilers, but if you want to camouflage yourself in, the best way to do it is you got to get some zombie skins, man. You got to get some skins. If you can get some zombie skins and wear them, they will not bother you. I know it's gross. I know it's totally disgusting, and the idea is just nasty, and you want to let them dry first too, so you don't get some kind of contamination from the zombie blood that's on the flesh or whatever, and it'd be gross to get it. But let's be honest here. if you were able to get a zombie skin and you were able to wear it, right, and maybe just wear the rest of your body, cover yourself up, zombies would not attack you. Period. So it's kind of like a hack. It's a cheat, right? You just cheat. You just hack the system, right? So there's the intelligence part of it right there. Thanks to Kirkman and the idea, because I never thought of that. But now that I know that, if a zombie apocalypse actually occurred, that's all you had to do, really, and then they wouldn't attack you. Now your biggest problem is survivors. Now, once in a while, a zombie might get close. They might get a sniff, and they might look at you and see, okay, and they might attack you. You might have to kill one once in a while. But for the most part, it'd be pretty solid, pretty easy, with a skin to survive against them after you dry it and everything like that. And it'd be nasty to get it, but hey, you want to survive, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Just like in the real world, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, right? There you go. So there's my strategy in terms of that. Now, in terms of dealing with survivors, now there's the tricky part: is how are you gonna deal with other survivors? Now, because you're in camouflage, they're going to think you're a zombie, right? They're not going to know that you're an actual survivor yourself. So with that, unless they're noob survivors, if you walk in the other direction, they probably won't bother with you. So you could actually, with that too, it actually in a way is better, because then survivors won't see you as a survivor, realize you're a threat, and try to steal from you or try to hunt you down or things like this and try to take your stuff, like the governor in the Walking Dead series. Not just him too. In real life, if resources got low, people would be trying to get resources from one another. So for that too, as long as they don't see you as an immediate threat and you don't get shot or something by a survivor, who, if somebody's wasting ammunition anyway on the dead, they're probably not very good survivors and they probably won't survive themselves anyway. So those are the ones you got to look out for, is stupid survivors. The ones that you don't really have to worry about too much are smart survivors, that when you're a zombie walking in the other direction, they just let you go and they don't bother with you, right? So you see, you've kind of cracked the code. Now, aside from that, you just have to survive. You have to set up a couple locations. You want to have probably a house is a good call. Get yourself like a nice, big, $400,000 house or something. I mean, why not, right? Preferably not with glass doors. So maybe like an older one, right? No glass doors. So like an older house or something that's big and like a mansion, just steal it from somebody, put on a skin, and attack them and take their stuff. This is a zombie apocalypse. You got to do what you got to do here, right? Okay, so, get yourself a farm or get yourself a way to get food. Go rob a Walmart and take all the stuff back with you. You want to get canned foods and use them last. You want to try to grow food and get some barrels for water. And if you're wearing a zombie skin through all of this, I'm telling you, man, piece of cake, man. Piece of cake, Joseph. Piece of cake, brother. In addition to that, too, I'm not, people see me as like this really like nerdy, like dweeby, like kind of guy. I'm actually very, very strong compared to most people. I can do 35 push-ups straight, all the way down, touch the floor, all the way back up 2 to 3 seconds for each one. I have 17-inch biceps. I have pretty good shoulders in terms of size. I'm wearing a sweater right now. I can run pretty good. I can run about, last time I timed myself, I ran a mile in about, I want to say 7.5 minutes, but I'm not a great runner because I'm kind of big, right? I do a lot of weightlifting, so I'm heavy. But in terms of like slaying zombies and stuff, yeah, I don't think I would have too much trouble with that. I think you got to get used to it, right? You got to kind of even if you know what it looks like, you have to get used to the physical practice of, how to move your body and everything. The more you drill, the better you're going to get at it. So I take a very scientific approach to it. Also, I'm a workaholic, so I think I could do really, really well. I wouldn't have any problem in a zombie apocalypse putting in like 70-hour, 80-hour weeks working on, creating a base and everything like that. Maybe recruiting some people, teaching them the strategy. But people use the Dawn strategy. People that are weaker than you, right? And get a few people that you keep close that way, and be careful. You don't want a Shane situation. So, of course you got to have a chick. I'd protect Jess, and she wouldn't want to wear zombie skin, but I'd force her to. I'd say, hey, you know what? You don't have much of a choice here. Okay, put it on. End of story. Put it on. So there you go. So there's my strategy, man, and there's how to easily survive a zombie. Well, not easily, but there's probably the best way, I think, to survive a zombie apocalypse. After that, you just got to, just wait them out. Wait for the zombies to decay and, survive for a few years. And after that, you're good, man. You don't got anything to worry about. The world is your oyster. The world is yours. Only thing is, like I said, growing food and stuff like that, resources. You got to get a farm. You got to get a farm. You got a farm? You got to get a farm. You have to, right? I thought you quit, Herschel. Okay, so there's the first one. Yeah, there's my strategy. Feel free to use it in case a zombie apocalypse ever occurs in real life. I don't know. It's never going to happen, but I don't know. Some people message me, oh, Ebola, zombies coming back to life. Oh, come on, man. Let's be realistic here. Okay, next question's from the Media 7 from Germany. From Germany. Thank you for watching. So I actually am a small part German, mostly English, but you can see from the hair. You see the the kind of the dark blonde. Germans have this kind of unique hair, so I kind of have a English German type hair. So that's cool. I like it. It's smooth. It's nice. So thank you for watching from Germany. And he or she says, where would you like to live in a zombie apocalypse? So I've kind of gone through this before too, and he or she lists off, Terminus, Alexandria, the Hilltop, the Kingdom, the Sanctuary, the Prison. I've kind of mentioned before that I think Woodbury is a cool place to live, man. I think Woodbury was pretty sweet when they had it all set up and everything was good. It was a pretty solid place. Zombies really were not much of a threat. Other groups attacking, you've got pretty good in terms of location. It's a pretty fortified place. People are not going to be able to run over those big, transport truck units they had that they put down around, blocking off the buildings. The only place they could really get in and smash it down is through the front gate, unless they climb up one or they climb in, a building's window or something like that. If you have people on lookout, it makes it a pretty good location to fortify, I would say. Pretty damn good. Even somebody with a tank, they could break in. But if you get in a building, you get down, they come in the middle of the street, tactically, it's a great place to live. Plus, they had, I think they had a little bit of electricity, didn't they? Generators and stuff. And they had different buildings, different houses. People can kind of get some space from one another. I think that's important. When people get crammed up, they start fighting with each other. You ever notice that? Like people that are really condensed, they don't have a lot of space. They start arguing and fighting with each other pretty quickly. So, yeah, I would go with Woodbury. Next question is from Ver1, and he or she asks, hey, I want to ask you a question about the undead gastrointestinal system. Talking about The Walking Dead, do you think zombies poop? Oh my gosh. Do zombies poop? Well, no, I don't think so. Wow, out of all the questions I've ever had, that's got to be one of the absolute most ridiculous ones. Oh my God, what would compel you to wonder something like that? I don't think so. I think that was an interesting fact in Game of Thrones that I didn't know about before. When you consider it, that when people die, they actually, this is a pretty nasty topic. This is getting to be a really shitty topic. Pun totally intended. Okay, I'm not going to focus on that anymore, Vera. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Next question was from a few people. Why don't I do more channel vlogs? Well, I do them every once in a while. I used to do them on like a monthly basis, so maybe I'll do one again pretty soon. It's just I've been so busy with the Walking Dead videos and everything, and I've been doing Q&As instead, right? Which I think are fun. Kind of gives the video some direction rather than me just saying what's up with the channel. I mean, I'll probably do some coming up pretty soon. When The Walking Dead ends and everything, letting people know what they can expect in the off season, because I usually do some different things and maybe review some older stuff or some zombie movies or just some fun stuff. So I will do that again. But to be honest with you, most of the time my life is not that exciting. It's not. I'm basically a workaholic. It's not rare for me to put in. Especially when The Walking Dead is on 60-hour, 70-hour weeks. Yes, I've put in 70-hour weeks. Because consider the videos you guys see. If you see 15 videos in the channel, right, and I work 40 hours a week, sometimes a little over 40 hours, those 15 videos, I mean, watching the show, if you consider watching the show part of it, I mean, it kind of is, because I have to watch every episode a few times and make notes and everything. So, I mean, my life is really not all that exciting. It basically includes working like crazy, 50, 60-hour weeks. 50 weeks is normal. 60 weeks is when, I'm busy. And, that's just my life. I mean, it's not all that exciting, really, to tell you the truth. It's mostly just working all the time, basically. That's that. But if you want to get things done, you want to advance in life, you want to control your destiny, what do you have to do? You have to control, your life. You got to control your minutes, your time. It basically comes down to time, energy you're putting in, and the intelligence of the work you're doing. Those are the three things. You want to be successful in your life, that's all you got to control. Where's your time going? How much energy are you putting into your work? Is the work you're doing beneficial? For example, if you're a plumber, Let me give you an example here. People don't look kindly on plumbers, but I do, because think about a plumber. A plumber will bill $80 to $120, $150 an hour if they run their own business, right? So in other words, plumbers can become wealthy. They can make as much money as, tons of different careers, right? With almost no education, just with some practical experience, right? They do a job nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to do it, but they're willing to do it. So the intelligence of the work they're doing, there's a lot of value there in the work they're doing. They're creating value for the market. So the intelligence of the work they're doing, really smart. If they work 60, 70 hours a week, doing that kind of work, and they put in a lot of energy during it, they can get a lot of stuff done. They could easily become wealthy in a very short period of time. So that's basically what it comes down to, my thoughts in terms of success. I used to do some success videos giving my thoughts on that. I could do some more just showing my insight, but I'll just say it this way. The size of the channel, the way the channel is going, really isn't a mistake. It comes down to the hard work and the value of The Walking Dead, because I do a lot of Walking Dead videos. You see the market value of The Walking Dead. People love The Walking Dead. I do more Walking Dead videos. Boom, the plumber analogy again. Hardly anybody does it. I choose to do it. I got in there. I started doing it at the beginning, and there you go. So that's where the success of the channel comes from. It's not luck. It wasn't an accident. It was step by step that led to that path. Just like a plumber, if he's going to bill $80, $100 an hour, it's that's so. If anybody is broke, you want to become a plumber. If you're willing to do it, you can become wealthy very, very easily once you get your apprenticeship done and all that stuff, right? So good example. So anyway, I don't do many channel vlogs just because my life really isn't all that interesting. It's mostly work. So there you go. And I hang out with Jeff sometimes too, and obviously you have to spend a little bit of time, that kind of thing. But even sometimes it's hard with a relationship, because it's like, I should go make a video. Do you want to hang out for a couple hours? I should probably go make a video, right? So there you go. Anyway, next one's from Goran Simon, and he says, "Hey Trev, I was wondering if you could answer whether or not you think Dawn's cops purposely hit Carol with the car. Do you think they did it so they could bring her in to work, like what happened with Beth? Or was it just an accident?" Goran Simon. Great question, man. You're not the only one to ask me this. Yeah, so this is a frequent question. My interpretation is that they saw her running, and they knew she was not a zombie, and they hit her on purpose. It's the same thing as what happened with Beth. They tell the story as Beth was knocked out, and they saved her. Do not buy it at all. I believe that they probably knocked her out when she was fighting a walk or something. They probably came in, knocked her out. Gorman probably saw her and was like, "Oh, hey, blonde chick, little blonde chick, gonna snatch that up like nothing." Knocks her out, grabs her, throws her in the car, takes off. Right? Leaves Daryl because Daryl's strong, and they don't really want to. They want to abduct them basically. So they hurt them. If they can knock them unconscious, then that will cause memory loss. Maybe they can drug them up when they get there, and then when they wake up after a few days, if they're okay or whatever the case may be, they have no memory of what happened. Right? They have no idea, and then they can tell them, "Oh yeah, we saved you. You got knocked out by a zombie or whatever. You fell down. You hit your head. We just got there in time." Don't buy the hype. I believe they did it on purpose. Yeah, let's see. So we'll do a couple more. Next question's from Sammy Radabau, and he says, "Hey Trev, has The Walking Dead set the bar too high? It seems like fans are getting angry at the episodes with not as much action." Well, yeah, you're right. I've noticed this a lot too, because the last 3 episodes, the show has not been doing as well as it was doing in the first 3 with the whole Terminus thing. And it's just, they're doing 16 episodes, there's ups and downs, and they're telling a really thorough story of this world. We're getting time with a lot of different characters, we're getting to see a lot of different personalities, we're getting focus on different characters. And in the end, it all comes back to Rick, which eventually may change, but yeah, it's just, they can't always do that. And yeah, it has set the bar too high. People get disappointed when you get like a good episode of The Walking Dead. It's like, oh, it sucks because The Walking Dead has set itself apart. People forget this is just a TV show. Go and watch a lot of other TV shows and see what kind of quality they have in terms of like drama and stuff. It's just, The Walking Dead is like just an epic show. It's like Game of Thrones and HBO, something they could probably charge people for by itself, and people would sign up and people would pay just to watch that show by itself. I'm telling you, just like Game of Thrones, it's freaking epic. And yeah, people do get upset when there's some slower episodes, but consider that they're doing 16 episodes. They don't really want it to catch up to the comic book series because that would be a problem. And, they have to develop these characters as well, too. Abraham, Eugene, Rosita, Tara, these are newer characters. They have to give us some care. We got to care about Abraham. We can't just see him as some one-dimensional big guy who uses a crowbar or assault rifle and beats zombies up. That's not what they're doing with the show. We can't just see Carol as just some random middle-aged lady that lost her daughter. We have to get some more kind of character dev out of them, and then if they're killed off or something happens, then that episode will peak higher, will mean even more to everybody because we care about the characters. And we need that. That's what The Walking Dead is all about. It's about the characters. It's not about the zombies. It's about what happens to people in this kind of situation and how they change, not the zombies themselves. So I'm going to continue with filming, but I'm going to do it, in a second part. I'm going to call the first part here. Again, I want to thank you guys for all your support with the channel. Just like as I mentioned earlier, if you wouldn't mind thumbing it up, sharing it, and favoriting it, I would really, really appreciate it. And thanks for all the questions. You guys are amazing. I wouldn't be here without you. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace.